On the 1st of October 2015, the UN Human Rights Council passed a resolution 30/1 against Sri Lanka, which was brought in by the United States and co-sponsored by the government of Sri Lanka. The United Kingdom also played a major role in this resolution by canvassing support to pass the said resolution in the Council. Addressing a media briefing in Colombo today, the chairman of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Professor G.L. Piri, says that in the light of comments made by Lord Naseby of the House of Lords, the erroneous facts of the resolution does not withstand and hence needs to be removed from the Human Rights Council. Lord Naseby spoke exclusively to First at Nine's Indivari Amawatte in London during a recent airing of her programme at Hyde Park, where he confirmed these details.
That there never was a policy to kill Tamil civilians, and secondly, the numbers killed certainly were not 40,000, which is what the UN suggested, was a probable number. Maybe some people in the UN said as many as 100,000. Right. But the figures there were 5,000 to 6,000. Now, I have asked the ICRC, quietly and privately, three different senior people at different times on three different visits, have you seen any evidence, and they're everywhere in Sri Lanka, as you know as well as I do, of genuine torture as defined by the Geneva Convention? The answer I've had each time has been no. We have seen some heavy handling, and that's to be deplored.
In today's media briefing, Professor G.L. Piri reiterated the facts that it's time for the resolution to be abolished at the Human Rights Council.
During the last 2 years, Lord Naseby has been addressing a series of communications to the British Foreign Office, and some material has been elicited in consequence of that correspondence. But even the unredacted portions are very useful as evidence of what really occurred at that time. The responses by the British Foreign Office and the unredacted material makes it very clear that the numbers which were mentioned at that time, for instance, 40,000 people missing and responsibility for that being attributed to the armed forces, that all this is without any factual foundation whatsoever. In the light of all this evidence, it is manifestly unjust that this resolution should be allowed to stand. This is particularly so in light of the statement by the then United Nations Human Rights Commissioner, Prince Zaid Al Hussein, who candidly admitted at a press conference in Geneva that the course of action taken by the Human Rights Council in respect of Sri Lanka was unprecedented. It was a unique course of action. That is not surprising because no other country would have tolerated that degree of interference in its internal affairs. The content of the resolution relates to matters which pertain to domestic policy, matters which should be left to the elected representatives of the Sri Lankan people sitting in parliament to handle. These are not matters for any foreign agency or body. In these circumstances, we think that the Human Rights Council should withdraw this resolution. It is based on false premises, on assumptions which have been disproved by evidence which has come to light thereafter. And we think that the government of the United Kingdom has a significant role to play in this regard.